Welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I have got a $30 budget prepper pantry stock up haul from the Dollar Tree. I love to do a weekly stock up haul from the Dollar Tree, and I try to use a small budget to help you guys really see that it doesn't take a lot of money and you can stock your pantry little by little. Over time, you are going to have a huge pantry for just a little bit of money, a little bit at a time. It really adds up. So I did a $30 budget today and got a few more things to throw into the pantry. So we have got them. We don't have to worry about it. We want to make sure everything we use, we want to replace it and add extra if we have room. So let's jump in and see what we got. So the first thing that I picked up was paper plates. I definitely want to make sure I have plenty of these on hand. One of you guys mentioned the other day, and I didn't think of it, having extra paper plates, not just for when the grid is down, but when everybody is sick in the house at the same time. It has happened to us. Nobody's doing dishes and they just pile up and it gets way out of control. These are wonderful for those situations. If the grid is down and you're limited on water and it's not running in the tap, you've got to lug it. They're great for that as well. There are all kinds of reasons to have paper plates on hand. And, sometimes you just don't feel like doing the dishes. So they do come in handy. So we love to have multiple packages of paper plates on hand. And I also grabbed some of the paper bowls. These are great as well. So if you're having cereal or soup or something like that, these are definitely going to come in super handy. All right, the next thing I picked up, of course, it's not a trip to the Dollar Tree without beans. Beans are so good for you and so good to have on hand. I love to keep plenty of these on hand, and we can them up in big batches, 18 to 20 jars at a time, depending on how many we can fit in our canner. And we like to get these, so we have plenty on the shelf ready to eat. These are great to have on hand, but they do take a long time to cook. I got some great northern beans. We love those. Those are great to add to soups and things like that. These are red kidneys, one of our favorites at our house. We love the red kidneys. I also got black beans. We also love these. They are great in all kinds of dishes. Adding them into your enchiladas or tacos or anything like that. It really beefs up your protein and helps stretch that meal out, because these beans are so cheap when you do it this way. And then of course they had lentils, so I had to get a bag. Lentils, you've still got that protein, and you can cook these just like your rice. Put everything in one pot, rice and lentils together, and then like I showed you the other day with the rice and beans, you can just throw some spices in it, and it's really simple and easy, quick, fast cooking meal. So lentils are great. And then we grabbed a couple of the Campbell's soup. These are chicken and rice. I like these bigger cans. For $1.25, they are a super good deal. These are 13.8 ounces instead of their regular little teeny cans. So we like to have these on hand. Again, if you're sick, they're wonderful. If the grid is down, you have no way to cook, you can eat this right out of the can. It's all cooked. It's definitely much better heated up, but you can eat it right out of the can. So I think it's good to have plenty of soups and things that you can just open and eat if you have to. The next thing is healthy choice. I got a can of the chicken noodle. These ones are pretty good. Also, I keep a stock of these. One of my daughters ate one. I only have room for one can, but I wanted to get it filled back in. Right now, with everything going on, we do not want to get behind in our preparedness. We want to make sure we have everything we need. There is just so much happening, and things can change on a dime and get much worse. So the next thing I got is Vandy Camp's Beanies and Weenies. Again, you can open and eat. This has a pull top on it. I don't buy a lot of cans with pull tops on them. unless that's the only option. If it has a regular solid top like these cans, these are thicker, and because these are really thin around the edge where you pull it and it just kind of peels off, they're really thin, so these are not going to last quite as long as your regular can. So we always go for the regular can if possible, but if all they have in something is the pull top, then that's what it is, and we just make sure it gets cycled through the pantry. Definitely. I want to keep that cycling going. And no Dollar Tree haul is complete without more matches, because you know the fires are roaring around here all the time. You definitely want to make sure you have plenty of matches, lighters, whatever it is that you're comfortable with using. We keep a lot of lighters in the house, but I also keep tons of matches, because those are wonderful whenever you have to start a fire, light a candle, anything like that. We use matches a lot of times because we have a lot and they're very affordable. And in a grid down situation, you're going to need to light fires. The next is cinnamon. I grabbed an extra ground cinnamon. This is a nice big 2.25 ounce, only $1.25. I did notice this week when I went to Walmart that their $1 spices have gone up to $1.12. They don't carry cinnamon in our store for the $1 spices, so I have been grabbing it from the Dollar Tree because it is a little bit cheaper. I also got a gourmet burger seasoning. This is really good. Kalana, I think is the name of it, but just for burgers or whatever, any kind of ground beef. These are great. Just dump a little bit in a soup to give it extra flavor. There are so many different ways to use your spices besides what's on the package and their recommendation. Definitely try it out, mix it up. You know, we make egg cups sometimes and we put hamburger seasoning or Montreal steak seasoning on it. It's actually quite delicious. And we love to mix it up and make different things. So, and one more spice I grabbed, just a receipt, some black pepper. You want to make sure you have plenty of pepper. These are great antioxidants. You should definitely be eating this. And in a grid down situation or a long-term disaster, those antioxidants are going to help you. And then also seeds. You got to have seeds, plenty of seeds. I picked up a spinach, a bush beans. I like the bush beans a little better than the pole beans. All the pole beans I've tried are really stringy, and I don't love that string in there, but we do love the bush beans, and you can get quite a lot of a little teeny plant. Also Swiss chard. This is a nice early planter. As soon as you can turn that dirt, remember you can start planting stuff. Your colder things like your Swiss chard, your green beans, peas. Peas love that cooler weather. So as soon as the snow is gone off the garden beds and we can get that dirt turned, I start planting really early in the year, because our grow season is really small up here in Maine, only about 5 or 6 months sometimes. And so cucumbers also, those are another one. You want to have plenty so you can make pickles and things like that. My kids love pickles. So also a gallon of water. You want to make sure you have as much water as you can in your house, in your preps. Keep as much water as you can. These are not the best storage bottles, and they need to be cycled through. Any of your gallon jugs or even your smaller bottles. The big heavy duty plastic ones are wonderful, like the 5-gallon ones. Things like that will last a lot longer because the plastic isn't going to break down as quickly. But these work great. We cycle through our water every 6 months to a year. We try to make sure we refresh that water and keep things moving. This goes all the way in the back, and we use up that old stuff first. So we try to keep it moving and use a little bit of it here and there. Let's see, one more bag. And then I got a quart of hydrogen peroxide. You want to have plenty of this in your preps. This is wonderful for all kinds of things, and definitely to help clean cuts and stuff like that. We love to keep a good solid supply of this, because sometimes you start getting scrapes and cuts and things like that, And in the summertime, we go through quite a lot of it. You can use this in your garden. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with that. And then I also grabbed a smaller pint-sized jar of the rubbing alcohol. And you want to remember when you're looking at your rubbing alcohol, if you plan on using these, I know a lot of people like to make their own hand sanitizer. You have to have more than 70% for it to be a hand sanitizer. And you want to get like the 90%, because by the time you put your other ingredients in, you're diluting that down. So you want to make sure that if you're going to be using it for that, that you can dilute it a little bit with your aloe gel or whatever you're going to use. And that way it's still going to be strong enough to kill germs. Like this 50%, we use this one for cleaning. They didn't have anything stronger at the Dollar Tree, but you want to just make sure that I've seen at Walmart and places like that, you can get the 90%, the 70%, and you can get this 50% alcohol. This is good for cleaning, but for hand sanitizer to actually kill germs, it's got to be over 70%. So just keep that in mind when you're buying your different types of rubbing alcohol. Okay, we also picked up another can of the fried apples. These are really good. Wonderful for turnovers, all kinds of stuff, little dessert things. Good to have in the pantry. You can eat it out of the can. It's that good. But these Lux fried apples, definitely. We'll be adding to that. Our store did not have hardly any. I got one. I think there was one more on the shelf. And I will continue to grab those when I see them because they are delicious. And I also grabbed the last cherry filling that they had. This, again, those turnovers, quick, easy desserts, things like that. You can put it with some whipped cream. You can do all kinds of stuff with it just to give it a good, give you a little variety on your fruits and things like that in your pantry. Fruits are definitely kind of hard for us because we don't love all the canned fruits. Some of them we just are not into. And the next thing I got is Hungry Jack potatoes. These are wonderful, easy to cook with. They make cooking a snap. And we just reseal these in either Mylar bags or vacuum seal in jars. You don't want to leave them in the container long term, but these don't have anything in them but potatoes. So they are perfect for long-term storage. So we definitely like to grab those when we see them at the Dollar Tree. And then I also grabbed 10 of the clear plastic gloves just to add into our first aid supplies. We want to make sure we have plenty of that stuff. If you have to help someone that's cut, bandage something up, stitch something up, you're going to want to protect your hands to help keep everything clean. So having those is really important. And then last, but certainly not least, they had in some athletic tape. It's got a little stretch to it, but it is good to put around. You can use it for medical tape. You can use it for if you're having problems around your elbow, around your knees, anything like that, to help hold everything together. But this is also great for those bandages and things like that. So we like to keep plenty of different kinds of tapes, the paper tape, all the different medical tapes. These are great. We keep tons of that kind of stuff in our first aid supplies. And I just think that right now is the time. Do not get behind in your preps. Make sure that you have as much as humanly possible. I feel that we're really going to depend on them in the future. There are so many shortages and so many issues going on. We really need to be prepared for what's coming. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!